This time of year can feel so overwhelming, especially if you have to be gone for a sub day. So if you're sick, or you have a doctor's appointment, or maybe you just actually have something fun planned, coming up with one more thing to keep everybody happy, floating along, and working at this time of year can feel really difficult. I love to use sub days to teach a cultural lesson, and this time of year I think it's great to talk about holidays all around the world. Hey, it's Ashley, aka Señorita Spanish, where I provide easy-to-use resources to save you time and energy while you're lesson planning. If you're new here, I just want to make sure that you know that links to everything that I mentioned in this video will be down in the description box below. So let's talk about why teaching culture is important and why we shouldn't just wait until our upper levels can get to it. First of all, we know that our Spanish 1 and 2 classes are almost always way bigger, and there's more sections of them than your Spanish 3, 4, and even AP classes. If we wait until upper levels to teach about culture, we're missing a huge chunk of the population and a very important part of our standards. And it's okay if you use the shared language of the classroom, in our case, English, to teach your students about culture. So let's talk about teaching culture as a sub plan. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you have to be gone for a sub day, especially in December, it can feel really stressful. So one of my favorite things to do is to do a culture lesson that students can do on their own, completely independently. And I usually like to do that in the shared language of the classroom. Like I mentioned, in my case, that's English. This is one of my favorite resources to use this time of year because it's very thorough. It gives students a really good perspective of several different holiday traditions. It's in English, so I don't have to worry about scaffolding it or, the sub not being able to answer questions because I'm gone and they don't speak Spanish, because when was the last time you had a Spanish speaking sub anyways? This is really great for all of those different scenarios. So this sub plan is actually a big packet of information all about different holiday traditions in Spain throughout the holiday season. So it's not just talking about Christmas, it's not just talking about Christmas Eve. There are several different traditions included, which I think is a nice option because that way students can get a better understanding of how the holiday season as a whole is celebrated and how it's celebrated in different ways and how not every family celebrates all the same traditions. It's broken up nicely into sections, so you could either pull out one section at a time, or you could give the whole packet to your classes if you're going to be gone and you need something that's going to make sure to take them the whole class period. So let's take a closer look inside this resource. It's 3 pages of readings, and like I said, it mentions several different holiday traditions. There is a graphic organizer and comprehension questions, so you're not just leaving your students with a reading and then going, okay, cool, tell me about it when you get back. You can check and make sure that they actually understood the information that they read about, and you know that they learned something. All the pages, both the reading and the activities, are included for both a print format and a digital format, just because I know that some schools don't actually allow subs to use technology with the students at all. And sometimes I know if you're in a pinch, it's easier to just click post than it is to try and make copies, or maybe email a file to a colleague and say, hey, could you print this for my first period class? I'm gonna be out today. It happens, but ideally we like to make sure we have other options just in case you don't have that teacher buddy who can help you out in a pinch. Oh, and of course there's an answer key, so that way you can go through it with your students, or you could leave the answer key for a sub so that way they could be grading your first period while second period is working on it, which is kind of nice. Like I mentioned before, this activity is linked down below in the description, and if you have any questions about it, you can just drop me a comment as well. I'm happy to help you out. If you're looking for more holiday and winter traditions you can teach about with your classes, you might like this playlist here of winter-themed videos that I have for you. There's a whole bunch of different activities in it. As always, if you need anything, just make sure you drop me a comment down below and let me know what questions you have, or if you need anything else, I'm happy to help you out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.